to empower themselves, opportunities to make new friends, and to learn from their mistakes. How is SABE set up? SABE is set up, and it is made up of 9 regions, including all 50 states. Each region has 2 representatives that are elected to the board, as well as 2 elected alternates. Officers count as a representative also. That means there are never more than 2 representatives from each region. SABE is broken into 9 regions, and which region are you in? Just take a look at the map here, and as you can see, there are, these are the members, the current SABE board members there of each and every region. So what we're working on is we need your input. And SABE wants to know how we can improve communication to get input, ideas, and thoughts about our new strategic plan. So the first question I have is, how can we work better together to improve communication?
Linda's here. Okay, Linda, go ahead. Linda, do you have a comment about how SABE can improve their communication?
I can't think of anything right now.
All right. Does anybody else have a comment about how they think SABE could improve their communication?
Yes, this is Gil from Hamden, and my comment is how SABE could improve their communication is that, this is one of the primary reasons I'm running for, I'm running for Max's seat on a candidate, is the fact that I feel like the board members need to be responsible for making sure that all information is shared with each region that they represent. And, and some other things like that, whether it be via phone calls or emails to the self-advocacy organizations in the different states. And I feel like it's very, very important.
Okay. So that feedback.
Where are you from? I'm calling from Maine.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, this is Essie from Region 5.
Hi, Essie. Hey.
Hi. We've got a comment to make here.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Diana, and my comment how we can work together to improve communication is using symbols and words, and also to have the information packet that would help us understand what SABE is and what a position and duties are, and what meetings we need to attend at the conference, and outside the conference.
This is Brian Murray from Youth Public History. We can take reps, but I think the state has to take their responsibility to communicate. The reps can do transmit their information, we can, email, we can call, but if they don't respond, I think they need to take a little responsibility of doing that.
Thank you, Brian, for that comment. Does anybody else have a comment about how SABE can work better together to improve communication? You can also type your comments in the chat box, and I think we might be sending an opportunity for you to type in your thoughts if you don't feel comfortable sharing them right now. So we're going to go ahead and move on. And like you said, you'll have plenty of opportunity in the future to share your thoughts on this.
Okay, so what is working and what can we improve on? The website, the SABE Nation newsletter, the SABE email account, the SABE listserv, which is email communication system, the webinars, communication within regions, and communication within SABE groups. So, what do you think of SABE's organizational structure?
This is started.
Oh, the last one. So here is how some state organizations work.
And I think Max was going to say that state organizations, some are organized just like SABE with local chapters and groups in all different ways.
Here's how some state organizations work, the continuation of that. A few things to think about here. How can we make sure that if a state has more than one self-advocacy group, that their voice is also being heard? How do we make sure that local groups are being heard if they are not part of the state organization?
Are we on to this discussion? Right. Okay, guys, what do you think about Max's question? How can we make sure that if a state has more than one group, their voice is also being heard? And how do we make sure local groups are being heard if they are not part of a state organization?
This is Linda.
Linda, where are you from?
I'm from Cincinnati. With Essie.
Go ahead.
I think everything should be totally, and we have a website. Don't make it so busy. If you have stuff busy, people can read it. And that is me.
Okay. Thank you, Linda. Does anybody have any other thoughts about how we can ensure state groups are heard if there's more than one? And how we can make sure local groups that aren't connected to state groups, how they can be heard?
This is starting on my list, and I have two of them. First, the Ohio Steps Discrimination Association. And our separate group, we have created Advocacy United with various agencies and nonprofits to handle at the same table the wrong that is out there, and so we can contact where we can help. Also through Ohio State Discrimination Association, we have recently launched our first meeting of have two of Ohio leaders, and this is a business agency that normally don't have the voice, or the voice is not being heard as much to make this happen in the whole state of Ohio.
Diana, this is actually real quick. Diana, is it the Ohio Self-Determination Association that is pulling the school group together?
Yeah.
Okay, and in Minnesota, Terry Varner would like everybody to know that the SABE organization has a leadership circle that has officers from 6 regions come together and share what is going on in their regions so that the state level knows what's going on. Just that they do this several times a year. Does anybody else have any other ideas like this?
Yeah, I think that's an awesome idea. You know, Sister Brian, I tried. There's a couple of times I tried that, but then you have some states that are not responding.
That's an interesting thought. Okay. Did anybody else have any thoughts on this? Or we might move on. Or take a couple steps back. Does anyone have any Crystal specifically said she thought a good question might be, does anybody know of any states where there's more than one big, strong, statewide advocacy group? And if so, how do you make sure that both of their voices are heard? If one of them maybe not necessarily a part of SABE or connected to any other network?
This is China and Brooklyn County, and we have in Jefferson County, we have two very strong advocacy groups. Leaders in action that make broadcast possible, and our advocacy leadership network. People with disabilities that also work in different organizations and different non-profit organizations that work with our TV services, developmental disability services.
And this group is separate from the state organization. It's a strong leadership group in Ohio, separate from People First of Ohio. And what was the name of it again? I'm sorry. The name of the group is called Leaders in Action. Thank you.
This is the other from Maine, Camden, Maine. I know here in Maine we have a strong statewide self-advocacy group. But then within our people speaking up for us, organization, we're also comprised of many local chapters. Not all, but most of them have been meeting on a regular basis, and I can tell you, speaking up for us for me is growing.
Thank you about that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and does anybody want to go back and take a quick look at the two different advocacy groups that were shown and kind of to look at how they're organized? Everybody cool with that? Yes.
Good.
Okay.
So here's how some state organizations work.
I'm thinking like a rag meal. But I have a post with so what's the goal? Yeah. Okay. One teacher. I want to say teacher, but okay. So self-advocates of New York, they have a statewide board, and they have one station we have regions within the state. We also have other self-advocacy groups and individual actors. So that's the difference. Yeah, I'll explain this in a very so people hurry is that all right. It's just each region. You can have, if you look at the setup of a state, you can see that, like in Maine, that there are some larger cities that are closer together but might still be in the same region. So what this is saying is that no matter how many groups are in a certain region, they have a set amount of reps. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you can see, and I'm not saying that one is better or worse than the other. I'm just explaining different setups so that way people can see how things are done differently around the nation. So for people first in Missouri, they have the individual self-advocates, they have local chapters. We do have regions, but they are more for different reasons. And we have the statewide steering committee. So for any chapter that is affiliated with a statewide organization, they're allowed to send 2 representatives. So this helps in that we have certain areas of the state where we have more chapters because there's more people who live in the somewhat rural states. So that way, every chapter gets a voice. So it all depends on how your state is set up, where the cities are, transportation, things like that. So I just want to make sure everyone knew what we were trying to show with these slides. All right, Matt. We're going to hopefully back over to you so we can keep going and talk about this and also the regional list.
All right. So here is how another national organization works. They have council. They have council of. This is the Council of Canadians with Disabilities, and they have an executive committee. That's, they have a National Council of Representatives, or in other words, Board of Directors, and the self-advocacy groups that the National Council of Representatives come from. While this may look a lot like SABE, there is one key difference. The Council of Canadians with Disabilities include not only territorial, as SABEs would be regionally, representatives, but also it includes representatives from other national self-advocacy groups. So what do you think would be the pros or cons of including other national self-advocacy groups on the board?
Does anybody have any ideas about that?
I think that'd be a good idea. This is the clinic for Cincinnati.
Okay. Linda, why do you think that would be a good idea?
Get more people to join the team.
Okay. Does anybody
They might not know where one is, and they will find out, and they want to join it.
Oh. Okay. Does anybody else have any thoughts about pros and cons of including other self-advocacy groups on the board stage, like, say for instance, whether it's the National Federation of Congress or including a national group of people that do you think that would be a good thing or a bad thing? What do you guys think?
This is Brian. So, you know, I think that's a really good idea because I'm on the siblings board. But, you know, but I have concern. You have some organizations you give them an inch or they take a mile.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying all organizations are that way, but you've got some that, that's the only concern I have.
Okay. What if they were just invited to the meeting, but didn't actually sit on the board? That way, yeah. But what if they were actually on the board?
Rachel, this is Diana in Ohio has a comment.
Okay.
This is, my comment is, in Ohio, we have seen Rachel nonprofit close, and we have been really, provided our resources, our tools, and our people to have the help and information needed to learn about the racial social health of what tools that we need to provide them with and resources.
Okay, so Diana, let me make sure I understood what you said right. So you think it's a good idea so that you know, all the different groups are able to increase their resources because they're putting them together, right? Okay. Thanks for that. Terry Warner, who's attending our webinar, said she thought it would be a good idea to include us, the national group, as it would give their perspective of what they do as self advocacy and how we can incorporate their ideas.
I've got a question. This is Brian. I've got a question.
Okay.
Are you talking about, like, SABE have applications and SABE go through and, you know, which organizations, or you're talking about they just, how are you, what are you thinking of doing? How do you plan of doing this?
Well, Brian, I think that's a really good question. I think what Crystal is was saying that we're not trying to figure out that part of it right now. We're just trying to see if SABE and the members of SABE think it's a good idea to consider this. And if so, then I'm sure that we're going to do like a community and then everybody will work on it. We'll try to explore ideas for the future right now.
Well, I understand that, but that's a thought that should be kind of considered when we're discussing this.
Yeah, that's the point. Some groups do just affiliation agreements. Others do some other types of contracts. Others are very informal. I think there would be a stage to kind of look at those different options and see what works best for them. So, this is the kind of information.
Yeah, Brian, this is the kind of information that we're planning on gathering at the SABE conference when we talk about the strategic plan. So what I would like to assist with is trying to find out different states how it would involve other self-advocacy groups in theirs. We're just trying to get some ideas of what works and what doesn't before just trying to get some ideas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand that, but, I'm just, let's go on.
Okay, so do you like how SABE is set up now? And what should stay the same? What could be done differently? And how do you think that any changes could affect how SABE maintains communication with state and local self-advocacy groups?
Does anybody have any thoughts about that?
Yeah. I do like how SABE is set up to compare from region A to Maine. Speaking up for us. I like how SABE is set up in as far as communicating with the state and local, our statewide organizations. Maybe some sort of when things come up, some sort of email to the statewide, and then have it be shared with board members. So when board members take the information back to their local chapters, they can make sure that the information is shared with their local chapters.
What I usually do is, I have support go with me. They write things down, they go, and we kind of take it. But then I got a Region 3 website, email, where I have everyone in the state, everyone with their email, and I emailed all the information to them. So what I gathered, it goes to them. The question to, I think I like it. I can't think some rest and the openness needs to pick up and do more.
Thank you, Brian, for that comment. Does anybody else have any thoughts about SABE's current structure or how things could be done differently?
I have one additional comment. Maybe this is something that could be looked into. Is that like my statewide organization speaking up for us, we do have our own board of directors. How it works in our bylaws is that the super board is comprised of 18 members, but 3 from each region. It's supposed to be 3 from each region of the state instead of 2. And maybe that's something that we can look at in the future, is to maybe increase the membership. Still have 18, but maybe have 3 from each region instead of 2.
Okay, good. That was really great thought. We really need to move ahead and change here. So Max is going to start talking about how people can like the qualifications for that. So
I'm sorry to interrupt again, but Diana has a comment.
Okay.
Diana, my comment is, SABE is a phenomenal organization, and I'm very proud to be part of it. But I think at the same time, not everybody understands what SABE is and what SABE does, and maybe that could be part of the process, like SABE 101, and have it interest that
Hi, Diana. So for the rest of this portion, we're gonna mute the line so that we can all hear Max with no disruptions. And then we might open up the phone line at the end just to see if anyone has some comments. So we're going to go ahead and let Max take back over and tell us about regional rep.
All righty, thank you. So here are the tips for running for SABE regional representatives and alternates. First, decide who wants to run for representative before you come to the conference. Next, it is better that only one person run from a state. Next, have a primary in your state to choose who will run. Remember that a state cannot have two people who are elected representatives and or alternates unless no one from other states run. Complete your qualifying form and get your letters of support from your self-advocacy organization before you come to the conference. Arrange for funding for your participation in the board meetings. First board meeting is in October of this year, 2012. The screen flashed, sorry. Prepare your 3-minute speech on why you want to run before you arrive at the conference. Point out in your speech why you would make a good regional representative or alternate. If you are planning to run for an officer position, you will have to have served on the SABE board for 1 year and be elected a regional representative. Officer candidates may want to bring flyers with their position statements and pictures of themselves or other stickers, buttons, etc. In order to run for regional representative or alternate, you will have to bring with you your regional meeting, the following. Number 1, signed SABE qualification form attached. 2, a letter from your self-advocacy organization documenting your experience and involvement. And 3, a letter saying how you will get funding for 4 years. This is approximately $16,000 for a 4-year term. If you do not have this form and documentation, you will not be able to run. So what you need is your first name, of course, last name, address, the region that you're from on the form, state, of course, where you're from, zip code, and whatever email you use. You must have an email, though. You must have or use an email to be a representative, just to point that out. Regional representative and alternates qualifications and responsibilities. You got to be an active member of a local or statewide self-advocacy organization for at least 2 years, and you will continue that participation. Have funding arranged for your participation in 16 board meetings during your 4-year term. This is approximately $16,000 per person for the 4 years you serve as representative. If you have a support person, you will have to pay more. What do you need to prove you are qualified to run? You need a letter from your state or local self-advocacy organization on their letterhead confirming your membership and activity with local or state organization or statewide organization. You need a letter from your outlining how you will get your funding from for the board meetings. You must sign the statement and bring this form with you to be to the conference to be able to run. And you need to do so. You need a letter provided from your state self-advocacy organization on letterhead. A letter committing funding for 16 meetings.
Okay.
Back to regional representative and alternate responsibilities. Continuation of that, you need to promote and follow the SABE Just Do It statement. You need to develop contacts within. You need to develop contacts within your region. You need to contact other states within your region to find out what they are doing. This information will be used for SABE's regional reports. Continuation on what to do, what you have to do to perform your responsibilities. You need to read the Just Do It statement and agree with it and will promote the statement. Support board actions and decisions. The Just Do It statement is on the SABE website. You need to prove that you have an email, computer access, and telephone access to contact self-advocacy organizations in your region. You need to contact by phone, email, or meet the people from states in your region at least quarterly prior to the SABE board meetings to provide regional reports for the SABE website. Continuation of what you need to sign the statement. Of course, you need to bring form with you to the conference to be able to run, and it will say, I'll certify that I have read this statement and agree to it. You need to prove that you certified that you've read the statement and agree to do it. You need to be certified that you've read the statement and agree to it. And by doing so, you have to sign your name. You have to give your candidate signature and date to do each of those. Alrighty, so moving on. Continuation with the regional representatives and alternate responsibilities. It's a teamwork issue, so you need to work cooperatively together with other regional representatives and regional alternates to inform them of SABE activities and include them in SABE committee activities as appropriate. You need to be cooperatively host regional meetings, and there's many ways you can do that, but make sure it's effective is my recommendation. Take information back and share it within your region. What do you have to do? Perform your responsibilities as a representative or alternate. You will arrange or participate in phone and email discussions on activities for SABE. As a representative or alternate, you will arrange and or participate in phone and email discussions on activities of SABE. You will contact by phone, email, and or meet with representatives in your region to communicate board activities and discuss issues of concern that the self-advocacy community, excuse me. And you will need to sign this statement and bring this form with you to the conference to be able to run certifying that you agree to the, that you've read everything that is required by giving your signature and date. Continuation with the regional representatives and alternate responsibilities. You need to contact other states within your region to find out what they are doing. This information will be used for the SABE regional reports. You need to work cooperatively with other regional representatives and regional alternates to inform them of SABE activities and include them in SABE committee activities as appropriate. Regional representatives and alternates should share information with appropriate agencies in their region for utilizing different funding and other resources supporting SABE. Continuing with what do you have to do to perform your responsibilities? You will contact by phone, email, or meet with representatives from states in your region at least quarterly prior to the SABE board meetings to provide regional reports for the SABE website. As a representative or alternate, you will arrange and or participate in phone and email discussions on activities of SABE. As a representative or alternate, you will arrange and or participate in phone or email discussions on activities of SABE. And, of course, again, sign it and bring it to the conference to be able to run with your signature and date agreeing to all of what was required. So, last on the regional representative and alternate responsibilities, you need to actively and appropriately participate at SABE meetings, SABE committee meetings, and SABE activities. You need to attend the SABE board meeting, and alternates should be prepared to fill in when needed. What you have to do when performing your responsibilities. As a representative or alternate, you will arrange and or participate in phone and email discussions on activities of SABE. As a representative or alternate, you will attend the board meeting when the representatives cannot attend activities of SABE. And again, you need to sign this statement and bring it with you to the SABE conference to run. And you have to sign your signature with the date agreeing to all of what was required. So that is it for the representative responsibilities and alternate responsibilities and what you need to do to perform them.
Does anybody have any other comments or questions that they would like to share with everybody? Oh, we got to unmute the phone line. Hold on. Sorry, Ryan.
Yeah, I have a question for Matt. As speaking up for us of Maine, to say if I were to be elected, my question to you is, as part of the regional report, would it be okay for speaking up for us to insert its quarterly report into your, as part of your regional report from statewide activities in Maine?
Yes, it is. Whatever your state is doing in your region does go in the regional reports.
Well, this is Brian again. When we go to the meeting, most of the time we hear the rest. We do our duty. But then when the backup or the other states don't respond and you can't get that information, again, that's where you kind of hit a roadblock. That's where I said in the beginning, they're going to have to take responsibility. Because we can do what we do, but then the alternate has to, or other states got to pick up.
Thanks for that comment. Does anybody else have any other feedback that they would like to share to the group?
Yeah, just one other thing too. This is here from Region 8, speaking up for us in Maine. The other thing I know that Max had mentioned is about the alternate, being able to have an alternate if somebody can't make a board meeting. But if I were to be elected, you would not have to worry about that with me, because I am also a member of the Maine Developmental Disabilities Council since 2006. And since I've been a member of that board, I've never missed a meeting.
That sounds great.
Well, that's good.
So you wouldn't have to worry about that with me. I would be definitely committed, and you wouldn't have to worry about me because I would never miss a meeting.
Okay.
Well, thank you for that.
Just, okay.
The officers, if they don't show up, they have to contact the other officers. How many of that, what we have problem with is they don't even show up, and they don't even tell the other officers that they need to come to the meeting, and everything. So the thing is, when you tell the officers, you need to tell the other one and can't make it, you need to contact the other person. So that's where the money comes from. You can't get the person coming and say, well, I'm supposed to be at this meeting after that come and but like you call them, the citizens not calling and tell them they need to take the point. The thing is that we have to tell the officers, no person in the state that counted the different can't run. Can't be there. That's another thing that they have to do. But that on the bottom, that's what the officer needs to run. That's how the officer people will say, well, I forgot to about this person telling them you have to come to the meeting. Well, that's where the money, they lose the money on that. That's what it is. And that, you have to make sure that they can get to their going on the plane, and with the destination they have to be and be on the board and learn what they need in place of that. So I know it's mostly both deaf and unknown the Bible. And hi, Brian.
That was a great class. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. I have a comment. Is there some kind of make a comment? This is Effie. Go ahead. I think that this outline of responsibilities and expectations for the regional reps is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Something we might consider to add to it is what regional reps can expect from SABE. For example, SABE could make a commitment that every new board member will receive an orientation and a member manual. Or they will be a part of electing and choosing national advisors. Or that conference calls will be held at the most convenient time for the membership or the board members. Things like that. What's the thought so that it goes back to what Brian was saying, it's a two-way street. You know, we're expecting all this from the representative, and what are we going to give to assist the representative to do their work?
Yeah.
Thanks, Effie, for that thought. I'm going to share that with the people online real quick. Effie, it would be a great idea for regional reps to get information about what they can expect from SABE. Like a handbook or some kind of schedule that outlines meetings. Actually, we would totally love that if you could email that idea to SABE. So we can include that in all of our great collection of ideas we've got today. Will do. Thanks, Effie. Does anyone have any feedback? Yeah. So we'll have to be wrapping up.
Yeah, just one other thing too is a suggestion that I have to you guys. Committee. I know you have to be a board member to serve on a committee, but if you're a SABE member but you're not a board member, my suggestion is to allow non-SABE, non-board members to serve on the various committees, because there's all kinds of technology out there that at your disposal. It's like today, the conference call, you know, where people that want to serve on certain committees, could participate by conference call.
Okay, so let me just make sure I understand what you said was right. I think that it would be great for us to find a way for non-board members who are part of SABE that want to help to participate in the things that they're doing.
Right.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for that feedback. We're going to wrap it up.
Kathy wants to make a comment. Can I help her with it right quick?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay. We had a concern about the funding letter for the simple fact that we don't know how other states work, but Missouri gets appropriations on an annual basis. And to ask your funding organization to look in a crystal ball and say that they can guarantee you what their appropriations are going to be 4 years down the road is just not realistic in our state. Now, maybe some other states can do that. But we just have a concern of asking for a commitment like this that it's impossible to make, because the organizations that fund us have no idea what's going to be the situation 4 years from now. You know, if we could put some language in there that said, based on future appropriations or something like that that would make it realistic, then I think it would be great. But the way it's written right now, unless you've got your own money in the bank and you're guaranteeing it yourself, I don't see how any state can guarantee that, because they don't know what their appropriations will be. And I don't think we should ask for something that's not realistic. I think we need to have an expectation of people that they can meet.
That is a great thought. Matthew and Richard. We will add that to the compilation of these that we need to look into further. But I think Max and I are going to wrap it up for today because I know everybody's got to get back to work. We're all really busy.
Hey, Rachel.
So, just want to remind everyone, July 25th is the next webinar call. You can join us again next time if you want. We promise that we will have less technological glitches. We thank you for your patience in those. And the last one will be August 1st. That's at 6 o'clock. This is all Eastern time, and this is all on the front page of the SABE website. Max, do you have anything you would like to say before we go off air?
No, I don't. But I do. There is someone who does want to have just a little say in something.
Hey, Rachel, this is Karen Tapper. I just wanted to quickly address Richard's concern. I think that form actually has been updated, and the point is that the person needs to sign to say that they know it's their responsibility to find their money. And it's great if they can get, I think this will be resolved at the executive committee. We can get back to people. But the point is more that that the person that's running to be on the board understands that they have to be responsible for finding their money. Does that make more sense?
Okay, yeah, if that could be revised to that would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, I think it was revised. I just don't think that the one that showed up on the PowerPoint on this webinar was the latest edition. So, but we'll make sure we get that other one around. Okay.
Thank you.
Karen.
Hey, hi, Eric.
Hi, Karen. How you doing? This is Eric.
Hey, Eric, are you on the NEAT listserv?
Yeah.
You are. So then you get emails at least once or a couple times a month, then, right, from the NEAT listserv? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a good way to communicate? Is that a good way to communicate? Go ahead.
I just wanted to bring this to your attention, Karen.
Yeah.
Because I know, like with me here in Maine, I'm already in the process. I know the whole thing with the funding for being on the SABE board and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm already in the process of talking to my Maine Developmental Disabilities Council, which I'm a member of. Well, they receive federal funding.
Yeah.
And as part of their federal funding, there are some requirements they have to meet. And one of the things is they either have to support self-advocacy and self-advocacy activities, or they have to support self-advocacy organizations in doing their activities.
That's great, Eric. All righty.
Okay. Well, one more question we have from Ryan from California. Ryan would like to know, do we need to have the same documents that new members have to have, even though you've already been a regional rep? Said yes.
Can that question be repeated again?
The question is, Ryan wants to know, does he need to have the same documents
Yes.
to run for regional reps as new members that are becoming reps you have to have?
Yes.
Okay. Ryan, the answer is yes. So great. All right, Maxwell, I'll let you wrap it up.
Well, I just want to say thank you for those who participated on the call, and I hope to talk to everyone soon, and thank you very much, and have a great day.